a very remote idea about the exam, and from the beginning my education was through distance education, and in my 7th class, 10th class, intermediate, graduation, very meritorious student or excellent student. I am an average student, and I got affected by polio in my childhood, and I was completely wheelchair based from then on. And now presently, from last 15 years, I am training UPSC students, particularly those who are appearing for civil services examination. And coming to my journey, it was a tough journey for me. Rather, it was a journey of ups and downs. First of all, I would like to share my story of how I wrote civil service exam. And for your information, I passed civil service exam twice. One exam I have given in 2004, and the other exam I have given in 2016. And the first time I cracked the civils exam with 399 rank, and the second time in 2016 exam, that is 17 results, I have cracked with 167 rank. My optional is political science and international relations. And my journey in the civil service exam, I wish to tell you, generally people dream to write civil service exam, to do something for the society, to do service to the society. But for the first time when I chose to write the exam, it is not to do anything for the society, but first of all, when I am 21, 22 years old, the only thing that was in my mind is to prove myself as a human being worth living in the world. Because in India, if you are born in a middle class family, that too in a family, the traditions and customs and culture, generally, if a girl child takes birth with a physical problem, definitely the society will look down you. The first aim in my mind is to prove that even a person who is challenged in life, even a person who is physically challenged in life, can achieve the targets, the highest targets in life. And for at that time for me, the only thing, the only option is available, which is available is to write civil service exam. So that is how I entered into this exam. But my journey have not stopped there. But my journey have not ended there. So after I wrote the exam in 2004, up to 2006, 2007, actually January, I did not get my posting. So for 2 years, I am sitting in the house, and many aspirants started coming to my house for guidance. And some of the aspirants who came to my house for guidance, they succeeded with good ranks. That made me really to think the next journey in my life. That made me really to work for the next journey in my life. From then on, I started guiding the students, and I'm lucky enough and fortunate enough that those who have come to me and my students, they really got good ranks. But still, I want to prove again, because I strongly believe that a teacher who teaches the subject should also know the technique of the exam and current trends of the exam. He or she should also know the technique of the exam and current trends of the exam. So, just to compete with my students, I wrote the exam again in 2016. So this is my journey, and still even today, I train the students for civil services. And first time I want to prove myself that I'm able, I'm capable equally like everyone to pass the exam. And though I'm a physically challenged person, I want to prove that I can do everything, anything in the world. So after 2004, 2005 till date, I'm really, I never thought that I'm physically challenged. From last 15 years, I'm so confident, and I'm in the level playing field, that now today I feel that I have that strength and capacity now to do various things in this world with my hard work and merit. That is my confidence I got with writing civil service exam. This is how my journey went on, Ananya. And next thing is, so why do people choose, aspirants choose civil service exam, and what they want from this exam, what they really think from this exam, what are the tips and techniques what are the tips and techniques really they can get to pass the exam, that I wish to tell you. The first thing is the simple and the fact is this exam will not come by fluke. Now just like that you cannot pass the exam. You need to have a proper planning for the exam. You need to have focus. You need to have focus. You need to have proper planning for the exam. This is very, very important. This is the most important thing. So I can tell you 2-3 things about civil service exam in a plain way. One is, those who wanted to write the civil service exam, you should have at least 2 years of planning. You should have at least 2 years of planning. 1 year complete preparation and the next year complete exam writing practice. So 2 years of preparation will definitely make you successful. And civil service exam, as you all know, it is in 3 levels. It is in 3 levels. First level is prelims, second level is mains, third level is interview. Prelims, mains and interview. So this exam tests your patience rather than anything else. First thing is, this exam tests your patience, the first thing. And second thing, this exam needs lot of motivation also. Means it takes 3 steps, and this exam is rather than like academic exam. If you compare civil service exam with academic exam, in academic exams like degree, PG, students generally pass, but in civil service exam, students first or second attempts they generally fail. So then they'll feel disheartening. So the motivation they should keep for 2-3 years, first thing, planning for 2-3 years, second thing, and proper techniques and tips for study. And how to choose optionals, all those things. So first thing you should know that. And one thing I can tell you for all the aspirants here, I have never seen civil service exam gets postponed from last 15 to 20 years. I have never seen that exam got postponed. But this is the first time. Because of coronavirus, the prelims got postponed. Exam, UPSC will have a proper planning of the exam. Heavens might fall, but they won't change the dates. So they have very much certainty of the exam. And second thing I wish to tell you about the exam, never overestimate or underestimate the exam. Never overestimate or underestimate the exam. I'll tell you the examples of my students who cracked the exam. I can tell you the examples of my students who cracked the exam. So one of the students started, his name is Akshay. In fact, I have called him to Hyderabad Central University also. One of my student, his name is Akshay. He is now IPS Chhattisgarh, Indian Police Service Chhattisgarh. He thought to write the exam in BTech final year, and he prepared for final year and he took 1 year coaching, and within 1.5 years he could able to write the exam, and first attempt he cracked the exam. So if he can crack with that type of preparation, any one of you can crack the exam. That is the first thing I wish to tell you. You can crack the exam with proper planning and proper preparation. And second thing, techniques of the exam. I wish to tell you the techniques of the exam. What all is required for civil service exam? What all you need for civil service exam? Techniques you should know. I'll tell you that pulse. So here, say plasma therapy. From last 1 or 2 months, the topic called plasma therapy is in news. You should know about that particular thing in detail. Today and yesterday, you all know Atmanirbhar Bharat. In that Government of India announced various stimulus supports to various fields, MSMEs, agriculture sector. You should know some of the important details of it. So if you know what is going on in the system, if you know what is going on in political system, academic system, all these things, then definitely you will be having an edge. So never miss reading newspapers. And most of the aspirants ask me, how to read newspapers? Is it enough to study current affairs magazine? How to read newspapers? Is it enough to study current affairs magazine? But I can tell you, newspaper reading will give you a very good analysis. Analysis power. So if you read a current affairs magazine, you will read 2 or 3 points of it. But if you read newspapers, you will get analytical bent of mind. You will get various important issues into your brain. You can analyze beautiful things and you can write very good answers. So first thing I wish to tell you, take a very good newspaper. take a very good newspaper. For example, before this class, I am reading a newspaper, The Indian Express. In the online newspaper, The Indian Express. Every day in Indian Express, they write a column called Explained. There's a column called Explained. They will explain various things. So in that, today I have read an article, how tropical cyclones are named. How tropical cyclones are named. So if you read that article, that will give you an edge. So take Times of India, take Indian Express, and take The Hindu and read important news of the day. And you can catch the important phrases. For example, today in Hindu first page, there is a word called contract farming. There is a term called contract farming. You should know what is it. There is a term called contract farming. There is a term called dairy development. These things, and just now I told you how tropical cyclones are named, all these things. So these things you should never forget. And today, yesterday, NASA's Artemis mission, ARTEMIS, Artemis mission is in news. So every day make notes from newspapers. Online, read 3 newspapers, and don't think that reading newspapers means you should read everything in the newspaper. You should not read everything in the newspaper. Take only 1 or 2 important points which is in the newspaper. For example, yesterday there is a news article about Vijay Mallya. All of his options were closed. Now he has to come back to India, extradition. Vijay Mallya, who have to pay more than 9,000 crores for the banks. Now he has to come back to India. In that, one act is involved. 2 acts are involved. 2 important legislations are involved. One is Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. One is Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. Second is Extradition Act. So you should focus more on Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. Generally, normal people, when they read newspaper, they read about Vijay Mallya. But when you see Vijay Mallya news, you should read about Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. You should read about Fugitive Economic Offenders Act, like that. So first of all, you should get the pulse of the exam. You should get the points in the exam. That is very important. So first step is reading newspapers. And the second technique for the exam is, as you build a house, before building a house, you need to have a foundation. So if you plan to build a house, you need to have a foundation, right? In the same way, to pass UPSC exam, the foundation is NCERT textbooks. NCERT textbooks from 6th class to 12th class. There will be around 40 textbooks, 40 social sciences textbooks. You are expected to prepare all the 40 books with notes. So if you are planning to write civil service exam in future, first of all, complete NCERT books. So I wish to tell you, complete NCERT books. So first is newspaper, second is NCERT books. And don't ask me, will the questions directly come from NCERT? Should not ask this question, will the questions directly come from NCERT? I can tell you one point. Olden days, 10 years back, 15 years back, we used to get directly many questions from NCERTs. Now we are getting around 10 to 15 questions from NCERTs. Particularly geography NCERT, ancient medieval history NCERTs, we are getting around 10 to 15 questions. But don't expect 50% of the questions from NCERT. But without having proper foundation with NCERT books, you cannot subject yourself. You cannot go into the enlightened books, topmost books in civil services. First prepare NCERTs. So newspaper and NCERT books. These are 2 things. And third important thing for civil service preparation. The third important thing for civil services preparation is you are expected to study standard textbooks. What are those standard textbooks? First is, say, polity. Polity like D.D. Basu. And if you are good enough with D.D. Basu and Subhash Kashyap, go for some book, Indian Government and Politics, B.L. Fadia, F-A-D-I-A. Indian Government and Politics, B.L. Fadia, F-A-D-I-A. So Subhash Kashyap, D.D. Basu, D.V. Ka. It is not D.V. but it is D.D. Basu. D.D. Basu, Subhash Kashyap, all these things. And then history, Bipin Chandra. History, India's freedom struggle. You can study from Bipin Chandra. Economy from Ramesh Singh. Science and technology. Science and technology from a book written by Ravi Agrahari. So polity, history, economy and geography. Geography by Go-Ching Leong. After reading NCERTs, read Go-Ching Leong. Go-Ching Leong, geography. So these are the basic books. So if you complete these basic books, almost I think you will be 50% done. You can complete 50% of your syllabus. Then see old question papers. Collect 10 to 15 years old question papers and then start practicing for prelims and mains. So the best way to prepare for civil service exam after knowing basics is reverse engineering technique. After knowing basics is reverse engineering technique. What is this reverse engineering technique? Go to the old question papers and find out the concepts in the questions. Go to old question papers and find out the concepts in the questions. See, from the question, you can draw a concept and then study the concept and then study the concept. That is very important. So, old question papers, then study. For example, if there is a question on nanotechnology, read the question, then go to the concept. So, this reverse engineering technique worked for many students. So, they study. For example, if there is a question on 1857 revolt, 1857 Sipai Mutiny, read the question, then go to 1857 revolt and search what has happened. Or if there is a question on Jallianwala Bagh, if there is a question on Jallianwala Bagh incident, read the question and go to Jallianwala Bagh incident. So that also helps you. And if you keep on reading monotonously, it will be a boring thing for you. Then what should you do? You collect question papers, try to practice and try to read from the question papers. This is the other thing. And in civil service exam, there is one more effective thing which you can do. Geography atlas, geography maps. In civil services exam, the most effective thing, geography atlas, geography maps. Map pointing is the most important thing. So I can suggest you, apart from purchasing atlas, paste important maps like India map, world map to your room, doors, windows. Every day whenever you get bored, whenever you get time, kindly look at the map. And whenever you get a new news from particular place, in the world, kindly try to locate that place. Have a very big map, attach it to your door or window. All the time whenever you see the news, just kindly locate the place. If you do it for 6 months, you will become jump. You will become very, very sharp. Okay. So whenever you find, this is also a technique to remember the maps rather than just by hearting, go in that way. And generally students will have a doubt whether to take coaching for civil service or not. I don't suggest that coaching is compulsory. I will never say that coaching is compulsory. Work hard, and if you can maintain that momentum for a long time, it is as good as taking coaching. Then why do generally students go for coaching? Because in coaching centers, they will have peer groups, they will get some techniques, all these things. Generally, whenever you lose motivation, at least by seeing our friends and our colleagues, teachers, will get some motivation. This is first thing. Second thing, there are two things that are required for the exam. One is, first of all, self-motivation. Second is discipline. If you have both the things together, discipline is the most important thing. If you have motivation and discipline, even when you lose your motivation, discipline will keep you going forward. Even if you lose motivation sometimes, if you have discipline, it will keep you going forward. Just remember. So maintain a timetable, fix the timetable. If you are going for 7 hours study every day, do that. If you fix for 8 hours study for that, do that. And take a break at least for 1 week or 10 days. Take one day break or half day break, but continue. That's most important thing. In civil services, continuity and patience, self-discipline, planning, focus, motivation, and more than everything else, technique of the exam is very, very important. And never think that we never compare with others and say that we are inferior to others. Never think and compare yourself. And here I wish to tell you why students fail in the exam. I wish to tell you why students fail in the exam. I'll tell you what are the actual things that really make the students fail and fall in the exam. The first thing is they will revolve around the exam, they will think about the exam, but never actually study for the exam. They will collect books, they will know what is very important, but they never actually study for the exam. This is the first thing. Second thing, they will plan for the exam, but they will be involved in many activities. So the problem with civil service exam is first priority to 100th priority, it should be our exam. So you should not think that my first priority is my exam, my second priority is my family, my third priority is my activities, all these things. Your first priority, second priority and 10th priority is completely your examination. So for civil service exam, it is non-negotiable. It's completely non-negotiable. You need to sit and study. You need to understand. And I never have seen just a man or a boy why no, he was so intelligent but failed in the exam. So intelligence is not enough for this exam. IQ is not enough. You need to put sufficient hard work along with IQ. Along with IQ, along with intelligence, you need to put sufficient hard work for the exam. So that is, so this exam needs lot of hard work. This exam needs lot of consistency. This exam needs lot of hard work and this exam needs lot of consistency. That is for sure. And I wish to tell you here my timetable. From last 15-16 years, how, what's the timetable I have. So first of all, I wish to tell you about last 50 days. In the last 50 days, we have lockdown, right? In the last 50 days, we are in the lockdown. In the lockdown, every day if you sit and study for 10 hours, or every day if you work for your goal for 10 hours, no, it is 500 hours of time, minimum 500 hours of time. If you sit on any goal for 500 hours, at least you can reach half for it. At least you can reach half a distance for it. You know, I worked more than 500 hours and my timetable from last 15 years, from morning 6 to night 10, 11, 12 I work. From morning 6 to night 10, 11, 12 I work. Even in cases of crisis, even in cases of desperation. And I'll tell you, when my father died, I worked. When I gave birth to a baby, even after 2-3 days I have worked. So my work will never stop because of my family obligations, because of my depression, because of so many external factors. Never get struck by your external factors. Never get completely tumbled by your external factors. You should always keep moving on. That made me successful in civil services, and I am working for my goals with 100% consistency. And while if I go to sleep now, if I sleep now, I will have that satisfaction that today I have done my best. I have done my best. So that type of attitude you should develop if you are preparing for civil service exam. So that is very, very important. And if you think that I'll do all other things and partly and partially I'll prepare for civil service exam, it won't help you. If you think that I'll have all my obligations, I'll have all my works, but still I want to pass the civil service exam, means it won't work. I've seen many aspirants. See, some of the aspirants, if they sit at morning 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, till they complete that portion, they won't actually get up from the study table. So they have that consistency. And one of my students maintained a log book. Log book? Daily he has a timetable and he used to actually write how many hours he has studied, how many qualitative hours he has studied. So discipline is very, very important. And the students who have worked for 1 or 2 years in that way, in such a fashion and manner, they have done that. And here I am not telling you to forego everything. Once in a while, you can go for a movie or you can have your own entertainment. But it should be an exception. And every day I want to see a movie night. Say for example, so many students come for civil service preparation. I'll tell their timetable. They get up at morning 7 o'clock. They'll have their morning course and then they will start reading newspaper for 1 or 2 hours. And they'll get some phone call or social media. And they'll have their lunch and sleep for a while. And again they study for 2-3 hours. Again they'll go for an evening walk and talk over phone. In the night they'll see a movie and sleep. And they'll think that they are preparing for civil service exam. They think that they are preparing for civil service exam. But this won't work here. This won't work here. So at least you need to put 7 to 8 hours of qualitative study apart from reading newspapers. You have to put 7 to 8 hours minimum. So no one who studied for 1 or 2 hours will pass. And consistently you need to study, qualitative study 7 to 8 hours. And you should have enough sleep, good night sleep also. And it is not like a single day match, 1 day match, it is like a test match. You need to drag this match for 1 or 2, 3 years. So consistency is the most important thing. And most of my students have that consistency. So that's the reason why they have passed the exam. And some of the students who have this consistency, sometimes they might fail in the first attempt or second attempt. But still, if you wait for second attempt or third attempt, surely you will pass. Surely you will pass the exam. So this is how we need to maintain techniques of the exam, planning for the exam, timetable. And students often complain, my family is not supportive. They are asking me to go for a job. They are asking me to go for a job and then prepare for civils. So if you go for a job and prepare for civils, how much time you can allot, how much time you can give for the exam, even that you need to think. So 8 to 10 hours if you work, and how many hours you can give for the exam for preparation, that you need to think. But I can say UPSC is the most reliable and trustworthy exam. You can put some of your time for that, anyone who is really aspiring. Yes, some of the students who are doing their PhD, some of the students who are working, they also do. But they manage their time effectively. So whatever the time they get, daily 6-7 hours time, and weekend, Saturday, Sunday, whatever they get, they make use of this time effectively. They make use of this time very qualitatively. So whatever the time they get, 5-6 hours, they start doing. But I can surely tell, if a student who gives his exam full time preparation, if he gets through this exam within 2 years, a student who have a job to do, who along with a job, if he is working for this exam, it takes an extra time for him, say 3 years or 4 years. It takes little more time for him, but still those who are studying, and who are going for a job, they also aspire for this exam, they also can prepare for this exam. They also can prepare for this exam. There is no problem for that, but they should have a proper timetable. They should have a very fixed timetable and proper timetable. And weekends, all these things, they have to sacrifice for the exam. They should not enjoy. How we can turn this? Yes. The issue is COVID-19 is a crisis, I agree. But within every crisis, we can see an opportunity. And this time for all the students, I can say this is a super opportunity for all the students, and you will get a time to sit in the house and study, to sit in a place and study. In fact, civil services first need is this, first requirement is this. We have to sit in a proper place, we have to be very stable in a place and study continuously. This COVID-19 crisis, in fact, is an opportunity for the students who wanted to prepare for civil service exam. This is the first thing I can tell you. And I can tell you second thing, this you have seen how many officers are serving the nation during this crisis. And if you really wanted to serve the country, and if you really wanted to give back something to the country, you can sit for the exam. This is the second thing. And third thing, and you complete your basics from next 2-3 months. I think next 2-3 months also social distancing norms will continue, and the students who are aspiring can sit and complete their basics. They can sit and complete their basics with proper planning. And fourth thing, if you want to get the first attempt successful, if you want to crack the exam in the first attempt, if you want to make your first attempt successful, if you want to crack the exam in the first attempt, one thing I can tell you, plan it before. At least plan 1.5 year before your exam. Plan this exam at least 1.5 year before your exam, and write at least 100 mock tests. If you want to crack this exam in the first attempt, plan it 1.5 year before the exam. First thing, those who wanted to crack this exam in the first attempt, first try to plan it for 1.5 year before. This is the first thing. Second thing, write at least 100 mock tests. Before the exam. So practice tests. Okay, two things I wish to tell you, those who wanted to do that. first thing, don't go directly to the exam and make a trial there. Those who wanted to qualify in the first attempt, don't go to the exam directly and make a trial or experiment there. At least daily write one test for 100 days. Then you will know where you are, what your position is. So I wish to tell you, completely 6 months write complete exams, then go for the exam. For history, refer old NCERTs. For history subject, refer old NCERTs. And for other subjects, refer new or old, anything. And for environment, I suggest you ICSE textbooks. And for environment, I suggest you ICSE textbooks. Okay, I am repeating. For history, go for old NCERTs. For history, go for old NCERTs. For other subjects, old or new, anything will go. And for environment, ICSE textbooks, 8th class, 9th class, 10th class, 11th class, 12th class. So simple, I will give you a technique. Step into the shoes of government. When you are answering a question in mains or interview, to maintain a neutral standpoint, step into the shoes of government. If you are government, how you are going to decide? Don't think like an activist. Don't write your answers as a communist. Think that you are the government, because government servants are the face of the nation. Where is government? Can you show the face of the government? No. Government servants are the face of the government. Government servants are the face of the government. So think like a government servant and then answer the question. Step into the shoes of a collector and then answer a question. For prelims, 2 weeks before the prelims, don't read any new thing. Don't read any new thing 2 weeks before the prelims. Kindly revise what you have already studied. Revise what you have already studied, and every day, same time 9:30 to 11:30 when they conduct the exam, you write a mock exam. You write so that your mind will be tuned. So that psychologically you will be tuned for the exam, first thing. Second thing, for mains, I can surely tell you, to complete the answer sheet within 3 hours, it is not that easy. You should write every day exam. Every day minimum 3 hours of writing practice will help you to pass mains. Every day sit for 3 hours and complete 20 questions then you can have that. You can have that in the exam. So, my technique is, I have divided the 3 hours time into 6 half an hours. I have divided the 3 hours time into 6 half an hours. Half an hour. And I have half an hour targets the exam hall. I have half an hour targets in the exam hall. I have not considered my time as 3 hours, but I have divided the 3 hours into 6 slots. And first 3 questions, 30 minutes. Second 3 questions, 30 minutes. Like that I have completed. So, if you go in that way, last minute rush we can avoid. 5 minutes of meditation, 5 minutes a day keeps you motivated for 24 hours. 5 minutes of meditation, first thing. Second thing, visualization. If you pass civils exam, how you can change the world? What is the impact you are going to give in this world? All these things, if you visualize, definitely it will work. Third thing, read good books or good quotations. That also will help you. Or if you lose your motivation, see the interviews of successful people and failure people. First thing, you can when you choose a language in interview, for example, if you give your mains in Telugu, you can choose interview English language, or if you give your mains in English, you have the right to choose Telugu in interview. Okay, but if you choose one paper, one language, the other paper, other language, they won't allow. If you choose one language in mains, all the papers you need to write in one language. Okay, for example, if you want to write mains in English medium, you are expected to write mains in English medium. Done? And general category 32 years, OBC category 35 years, this is the age. Nothing, you just select a newspaper. Indian language paper, it's just a qualifying exam. It is just a qualifying exam. In the 8th schedule in the Indian constitution, there are 22 languages. One language you can choose and select a newspaper from that. Like Eenadu, Namaste Telangana. Every week copy one article, write your own notes on that. Enough, okay. It is just a qualifying paper. Read one regional language newspaper which you would like to choose. Every week write an answer from that. That's enough. See, answer writing for mains, from today onwards, daily take 5 topics. For example, child labor, sustainable development, women empowerment. Take 5 topics daily, at least complete 2-3 topics every day, 2-3 scripts every day. 6 months you continuously write. 6 months you continuously write, and your writing skills will be improved a lot. And don't write lengthy answers, write small paragraphs. Enough. Daily 2-3 answers you practice for 6 months, you are going to rock the exam. You are going to complete the exam.